little sponge. It's like a giant wet Q-tip. Goes down the barrel, and it's going to dampen any sparks on the inside and should extinguish them. And while that's happening, another man has a cover on his thumb plugging the vent at the breech, which makes a vacuum, so you had no air getting inside the bore. After that happens, you bring the next bag of powder forward. Normally it has the ball attached. Today it's just powder. Our neighbors hate the ball. So that's going to be put in the bore, and you use the other end of the sponge called the ram block to ram everything into place, which means that bag ends up right below the vent where the man's thumb is. Once it is seated here, they're going to open the vent, take a long brass wire called a pick, and use that to poke the hole through the bag of powder. Then you'll connect to that powder with a priming charge. We're just using gunpowder, but you could also use a quill or a tin tube with the powder and a little device to catch fire quickly that actually picks it and primes at the same time. Then you'll take the burning slow match and touch the powder. That'll be a good time to cover your ears, by the way. When you touch that burning slow match with the powder in the breech, it sets the whole thing off, and you can start the whole process over. How did that look fast? No, but like I said, it wasn't meant to be quick right now. That's for training. On the battlefield, we'll go a bit quicker by condensing all those commands. You do all the same steps, but you condense the commands down a bit. Gun sergeant, fire the remaining rounds by the battlefield drill. So there's a couple ways to look at it. In the American Army, they don't really bother to write down the drill manuals until a few years after the war. So some American regiments do it one way, some do it another way. One way is to condense it down to search P, which means clean out the gun. Load P, which means load the gun. Even the infantry can help figure that one out if they have to help man out the crew here. Then pick and prime to lay in your priming charge and make ready, give, and fire. The British Army condenses it even further, simply down to load, and when the man in the right position sees it's loaded, everything's aimed correctly, fire. If you keep doing that, you can get this down to maybe about 4 shots a minute in some cases. Cover your ears again. If the enemy is really close pressing you, getting within easy musket range of 100 yards and less, you might start to skip a whole bunch of steps to make this a lot faster. As in normally, you might only worm 1 shot out of every 3, but you sponge every shot. If the enemy gets really close, you might skip the worming and the sponging entirely, which means it's not quite as safe for you, but you can now start to quick fire up to 5 and 6 shots in a minute. In that case, while it's officially not condoned, sometimes the men will start stacking extra ammunition close to the gun to make that timing a lot quicker. But it means it can be very, very hazardous for the crew up close. Cover your ears one last time here.
It's a dud.
This can't happen.
Fuse light.
Yeah.
The thing is, sometimes on the field, what you're going to have to do is there's several ways you can actually ignite. What we have right now is actually slow mat. Cover your ears again. See what happens. No, that's why the artillery tends to have several different ways to ignite just in case. So what we have is slow match, rope that's soaked in gunpowder or saltpeter. Usually like a 10-foot coil coming off both ends. In case one goes out, you got another one there that you can use. But another device the Army sometimes uses is called a port fire. Think almost like a little sparkler you use on 4th of July or a road flare. Picture a rod like that big, stuck to a wooden handle. It's a composition that's meant to burn. You just jam it right in there. It's going to work fairly well. There's our last shots today. So there's a few different ways the Army can adapt to all this.